In this video, we are going to discuss the topic cathodic protection, sacrificial anode cathodic protection, and impressed current cathodic protection. In between, we will small animated clips to under the topic more easily. Let's begin with cathodic protection. When two metals are electrically connected to each other in an electrolyte like seawater, electrons will naturally flow from the anode to the cathode due to the difference in electrical potential. As this happens, the anode gradually dissolves into ions in the electrolyte and, at the same time, produces electrons. These electrons travel through the metallic connection and are received by the cathode. The result is that the cathode becomes negatively polarized, and because of this negative polarization, it is protected against corrosion. Now, if we look at a steel plate, its surface is not electrically neutral. Instead, it is characterized by points of relatively high electrical potential. Corrosion begins at these points. By applying cathodic protection, we protect the steel by supplying an excessive amount of electrons, so that no chemical reaction involving oxidation is allowed to take place on the steel's surface. In simple terms, if the steel is constantly supplied with electrons, it cannot lose electrons, and corrosion cannot occur. Cathodic protection can be achieved in two ways. Sacrificial anodes cathodic protection. Impressed current cathodic protection. Steel corrodes when coupled to more malleable metal. If the malleable metal is replaced by material less malleable than steel, the direction of current is changed. The new metal is referred to as a sacrificial anode, as it sacrifices itself, and in doing so, protects the steel from corrosion. Sacrificial anode cathodic protection. The first method is sacrificial anodes cathodic protection, commonly known as SACP. In this process, metal alloys provide electrons by sacrificing themselves in order to protect the steel structure. A ship's structure is mainly made of steel, but it also contains other metals in smaller quantities. Even the steel itself may not be exactly the same in quality throughout the structure. When such a structure, consisting of dissimilar metals, is immersed in an electrolyte like seawater, a galvanic cell is formed. One metal becomes the anode, and the other becomes the cathode. Electrons flow from the anode to the cathode, and the anode corrodes in the process. To control this corrosion, metals such as magnesium, aluminium, or zinc are intentionally used as anodes. For shipboard applications, zinc is preferred. These anodes are welded to the steel structure and are carefully distributed around the target area so that the negative potential is evenly spread. Cathodic protection is effective only when the metallic surface is immersed in an electrolyte, such as the ship's hull or tanks. The sacrificial anodes have a normal service life of about 4 to 5 years, after which they must be renewed. They are always used together with good coating systems. The advantages of sacrificial anode systems are that they are simple to install and independent of any external power source. However, they cannot regulate themselves. If the coating condition deteriorates and a higher flow of electrons is required, the system cannot increase the output. Sacrificial anode system of corrosion prevention is a form of cathodic protection, which uses consumable anodes. The anode material, usually zinc or aluminum, is more reactive, corrosion potential, and the steel of the hull. The anode metal, when welded to the hull, converts the anodic hull into a cathode. In the presence of the saltwater electrolyte, electrons move from the more reactive anode to the hull. And in the process, the zinc or aluminum anode gets sacrificed. In other words, corroded. The anodes normally last up to 4 to 5 years and require to be replaced at regular intervals. Sacrificial anode system is placed on the ship side around the stern frame, on rudder, under the bilge keel, in the sea chest, and in ballast tanks. A disadvantage of the system is that it cannot self-regulate the electron flow from the anode to the hull, as is done in ICCP systems. This can either result in accelerated waste of the anode or corrosion of the hull or tank structure. Sacrificial anode system involves the introduction of a less noble metal that is more electronegative than the existing anodic and cathodic areas. This additional metal becomes the anode and will corrode while providing current to the metal it is protecting. Thus, it overcomes the local anodic areas and makes them cathodic. Sacrificial anode changes the potential of the system and provides protection to steel exposed by wear or damage of the protective coating. Impressed current cathodic protection. The second method is impressed current cathodic protection, or ICCP. In an impressed current system, electrons are supplied using an external DC power source. The anodes in this system are permanent and are usually made of titanium and, in rare cases, platinum. High input impedance voltmeters and suitable half-cell sensors, usually silver alloy sensors, continuously measure the electrical potential of the hull. This information is sent to a control unit, which automatically adjusts the current supplied to the anodes. Because the system is self-adjusting, it can compensate for deterioration in hull coatings, although this results in increased electricity consumption. Monthly data from the system is typically analyzed by the manufacturer to assess both the condition of the ICCP system and the condition of the hull coatings. Impressed current systems have several advantages. They can supply a relatively large current, they can be used in most types of electrolytes, and they provide flexible output to accommodate changes in coating condition. However, ICCP systems must be switched off when divers are working in and around the hull. An ICCP system allows longer dry docking intervals and provides more flexibility than sacrificial anodes. Even with an ICCP system installed, sacrificial anodes are still required in areas such as sea chests, thruster tunnels, rudder flaps, and propeller nozzles.
In operation, the ship's hull potential varies with the ship's hull condition, speed, water salinity, and temperature. The referenced electrode measures the ship's hull potential and transmits the proportional signal to the controller. The controller injects the required current through the fixed anodes to maintain the hull potential so that hull remains cathodic. The anodes are made of lead silver or titanium. They are consumed at a very slow rate and have an approximate life of 10 years.
In summary, cathodic protection works by ensuring that the steel structure always acts as the cathode, preventing oxidation and corrosion. Whether achieved through sacrificial anodes or impressed current systems, cathodic protection is an essential part of corrosion control in marine structures. Thank you for watching the video.